Hello everyone, and welcome to another beautiful morning this time for me, here with our little garden and adventures. Oh yay! And we just unlocked the budding scientist. Ooh, a night star! New seeds unlocked! Okay, we are going to need to go ahead and investigate that in just a moment, my friends. But first, clearly I have a little bit of the maintenance to do on taking good care of all of the plants that we are trying to go ahead and grow in this beautiful garden. Ah, it'd be kind of nice if there was some way that we could just have like a magic watering can where once you grew a plant and had enough experience, then you didn't really need to like water them all of the time. But I actually think that kind of goes against the theme of what I've learned from these gardening and adventures, which is really that to create a beautiful garden in our life requires consistency and care. And often those steps, when they sound like, when I say that out loud, I'm like, you mean I have to maintain like 1.5 million things just to be able to have the life I want? It feels really overwhelming. But it's been less than a couple minutes. And just like that, with just a little bit of time and attention, we've already gone through and we have now tidied up quite a bit of our beautiful garden. Putting aside that there are actually other rooms, but I have been reflecting a lot lately on how you do have to go one project at a time. I think one of my biggest struggles is actually focusing on one thing at a time. Again, I was just joking with my father yesterday that the reason I probably was diagnosed with ADHD at almost 35, so late in life, is because I grew up surrounded by much louder women in my life who also ended up being diagnosed with ADHD, and that just kind of cracks me up. I had the unfortunate benefit of being completely surrounded by people who displayed the more exterior traits instead of the inattentive type, which is me, the daydreamer. And it's not a flaw. It's just the way my mind worked. But it does mean that yes, when I say something as obvious as it's good to pay attention to one project at a time, for a lot of you, that's probably such an obvious answer. You're kind of laughing like, yes, Siri, yes, it is wonderful to go ahead and pay attention to one thing at a time. Doesn't everyone do that? And well, as you guys have seen, no, not really. But I used to be like really stressed about it, about like being able just to focus hardcore on one project. And lately, I've been accepting that it will always be a struggle for me. But that doesn't mean it has to be a bad thing. It just means that my mind and heart work the way that I do, and that I will need a little bit of help all of the time to return to focusing on one thing. But it also means that always at the edges of my thoughts is so much excitement and so much just like jump up and down like, oh, I just can't take it. Life is so awesome. Just sheer wonder at all of the adventures that we could go on and all of the things that we could do together. And I think that's pretty special too. I really like that. All right, so all of that said, I do want to tell you guys about what I hope to be up to later today. But first, I kind of wanted to see what we could do with decorating in this garden. And also, I wanted a little garden bench. Of course, I want to put down a garden bench. Oh, and the garden long shelf. Oh my gosh, can I? I could hang it on the hedges if I wanted, but we'll contemplate that later. I wonder if you can like stack things on the bench. Just a little bit of an idea. Like, can you stack benches upon benches? No, I was wondering if we could make like a tower into the sky, just absolutely overflowing with tons and tons of lovely plants. A little picnic table. Of course I want that. In fact, I kind of want the picnic table more than I want this pathway. But now that I think about it, nothing is stopping us from lining this path with flowers, huh? Yeah, nothing is actually stopping us. Let's see, let's actually take a little peek at some of the seeds. And sure enough, we have a new one. The night stars have finally come to join us. And I think at the moment, that is still the only new seed that we have. Wow! It is definitely proving a lot trickier to be able to get all of those seeds than I thought it would be. But that's okay, because I do enjoy being a budding scientist. But all right, let me look for just the right thing to hopefully be able to decorate in this little corner. No, not a coffee table, I don't think. And to go with the theme of what I was just telling you guys, try to bring my mind back around so I can remember what the heck I was just about to tell all of you before I got Seri distracted. And I think it had something to do with how simple it's actually proving to be to show up consistently. When I looked at this garden, I mean, okay, look, we'll do it again just real quick to like make the point come home. When you look at, say, this garden, I mean, doesn't it look kind of overwhelming? You're like, ah, it's just full of bugs. It's full of withered plants. It's full of chaos. But you pick up the gardening can and you go one little step at a time. And breathe in and breathe out. And with a little bit of that magic of focusing my attention, we are going to continue to build this into the beautiful garden that we are seeking. There we go. Let's get all of these guys watered up. Today we might even use the clock just to kind of speed along and see if we can stumble upon any new seeds or watch some of the new ones flourish. But while we go ahead and water, yeah, look at this. Oh, see, this is that metaphor in action. And oh, do I ever feel so much calmer. I actually stepped in to start our adventures in Garden Inn right now because, oh, that's so beautiful. Look at these guys. Oh my gosh, we'll take some time to admire all of these little ones in just a bit here. But I actually knew it was time to say hello to all of you and check in and ask you how you are. What are you doing today? What do you want in your garden today? What thing do you feel at first glance might be a little overwhelming, but you know in your heart it's kind of just like seeds in a garden? One little step at a time, a lot of patience even. And the act of just doing it might transform everything that you're nervous about. Like look at this. One of the things I've really come to embrace over the last few months is that, at least for me, almost always my anxiety of doing the thing is 500 times bigger. It's like a gigantic, horrible, awful void dragon that just wants to consume me and feast upon my fears. When I'm worried about how will I ever complete something. Oh, and I remember the quote I was trying to tell you guys yesterday. I told it to Chips and he really loved it. And the quote is, overwhelm happens when we want to accomplish something, but we don't have clarity on the steps of how to get there. Oh, look at this. It's so pretty. And that was what was happening to me this morning. It's been a wonderful morning, truly. Spring is coming into our home, and it's just been so delightful to watch as the buds are coming out on the trees and to dance under some of the blossoms from the cherry trees. We're pretty sure they're cherry trees, cherry blossoms, just like the ones one day we hope to see bloom in abundance in Japan. But we do have what we think, at least, are cherry trees or something that looks just like them. 3 of them, little ones, planted in front of our apartment. And they're so beautiful. They have, oh, we have watered 500 dry plants. See, look at how much we've done in less than a week together here. Because we're just doing one step at a time. But it has been so beautiful to watch spring come in. To dance under the cherry blossom petals as they begin to fall off in the wind. I actually was able to go ahead and watch a couple titmice at sunset the other day. Titmice being a type of bird, just in case you're wondering what on earth Seri just said. And they were actually eating the flower petals. Well, eating is a strong word. Oh, yay! All right, we can go ahead and we can investigate another reward. Look at that. Isn't it so beautiful to be able just to bask in being so... Oh, and another one! Oh, that's so pretty. I don't think we've grown that guy yet. Oh, we'll definitely have to line the exterior garden with a whole bunch of those too. But, yeah, the titmice weren't really eating the flowers. They were just plucking them off and tearing them apart as though they were playing that little game of he loves me not. And Chips and I just could not get enough of it. We were laughing so hard as we were watching them. Also, we'll take a little peek. Did we unlock a new seed? Just the night stars. But you know what? I think we could add a few more. A little beer mug. We're gonna go ahead and call this like an apple juice mug. That is so cute and hilarious. Oh my goodness. I love the things that we can decorate with here. And I think we're gonna add like a few more space cats because I feel like this is a good space cat spot. And we do, after all, have the night stars to go ahead and investigate as well. But it has been a beautiful day. Spring is coming. And even with the help that I received, and I am so immensely grateful for the way I do struggle with that seasonal affective disorder because, oh, it's just so hard. It's just so hard sometimes to kind of endure and get through the darkness of winter. But this year, I actually had some medicine for the first time. And that wasn't something I thought, like, I could get. I thought I just had to put up with the way that when the sun goes down in winter and the light changes, I thought it was just a me thing I had to deal with for forever. That it made me feel really trapped and sad, which upon reflection is just so tragic. Nobody should have to feel like that, right? But I actually got through winter really beautifully this year. So this year, I can finally say I am excited for spring to be here, but not because it is a desperate escape for me, but because I'm just happy to see the buds come in on the trees, the different birds that are singing. This year was also super special because Chips and I had that wonderful new wildlife camera that we've got. Well, we use it for wildlife, but it really could be used for anything. We just really, really, really love the wildlife. And what is your name? This is the Zephyr, of course. That one goes in clay. I'm definitely going to plant a couple more of those. But yes, we had the new camera this year. And that meant that my beloved husband Chips and I were actually able to go ahead. Let's see, there's some night stars there. Let's plant the night stars with the purple-eyed petals so we can see what happens in a little bit there. And more night stars over here. And some more night stars up here. And so winter was really beautiful. I noticed bird species I had never quite paid attention to before. And you know what? I do feel like having just a bunch of traveling trunks over here as our little dirt decorations for the hybrid dirt plants because why not? It just seems really cute. Yes, that's what we'll do. In fact, I wonder, here, let's scoot this guy back a little, if we can. Oh, you don't want to move out there, huh? All right. Do you want to move anywhere, my friend? Oh, that's interesting. We'll have to fiddle around with that in a little bit here. Oh, or maybe it's because of this. No? Okay, well, let me go ahead and carry on telling you guys a little bit more about just our spring plans or like how spring was, or winter, I'm sorry. See, I'm just so happy. I'm just so happy I'm all over the place, but you guys are used to that from your silly Seri by now. But yeah, it was actually a lot easier to get through winter, especially because Chips and I had and still have our wonderful new camera Kaleidoscope. And we grew so much together this year, my friends. Being able to go ahead and explore the world through Kaleidoscope's eyes together. I would have sworn until I was blue in the face I was already as in love as you can possibly get with this man, but trust me. This person, I should say. I always feel like Ginger's just very irrelevant for me, at least when it comes to love, but I mean, always and forever, he's gonna be the one I love from now on. I just know it. But in any case, again, happy Seri means rambling Seri. I would apologize, but it just feels good to be able to celebrate myself, to be honest. Let's get some royal flowers in there. Yes, a nice little mix here. Where was I? Okay, let me wrap up. Let me wrap up because I know if I focus, I will be able to carry on explaining why I'm in such a good mood and what I'm looking forward to. Um, but yeah, winter was wonderful. And I would have never in a million years have said that in previous years. But I'm really glad that finally I stopped thinking I just had to toughen up about so many things. And I finally took the very difficult initiative, to be honest, to continually push again and again and again and again when I needed to find somebody who could help me. Because it definitely didn't happen with the first 3 doctors, let's just say that. And I always thought when people said that, they meant like, oh, I just kept like fussing around till I found someone who would finally like give me what I wanted. But now I really get it. Sometimes you just really need someone who will take more time than a couple like seconds to listen so that you can figure out what on earth is going on, right? All right, let's scooch you over here. How we are gonna fit more plants in here, I have no idea, but we're gonna go ahead and try because I just realized the princess hairs would be so pretty if we just had several of them lining this corner, looking out over the open space. But again, somehow I'm rambling in the direction I did not mean to, so let me back up again. Winter was beautiful because I shared it with my husband, because I had the help I needed, and because we had Kaleidoscope to be able to discover just so much beauty out there. It was really fantastic being able to discover like, oh yay, and we've completed even more things over here now. Huzzah! New birds, species I had never seen. Even though all of these years, I would absolutely bet that they have been around me. But slowing down through the lens and being able to try to really push myself gently but lovingly. What on earth is the camera doing over here? I didn't even know we had hidden one over here. That's so silly. Oh my gosh. It's just a hidden camera. Okay, we'll play with that later. Oh goodness, and I've completely lost the thread of what I was trying to tell you guys. So let me just plant a few other flowers down here and wrap up with that. But it was the easiest winter I have ever had. And I am forever and always going to be so grateful for that. It was beautiful. We discovered new bird species. We found a whole bunch of new like parks to go to in our eagerness to see, ooh, but I wonder like what might be here that we could take pictures of, and so many other fun discoveries. Let's see, I think I have all of the night stars mixed in. I wish I could put the Zephyr in, but that's just not the way it works. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Let's put just night stars and night stars, just in case something happens there. And now spring is here. That's basically what I'm trying to say. In the past, I would reach out for spring with, oops, I did not want that dirt in there. I wonder if I can change it. Yes, okay, that's wonderful. But I would reach out for spring with a sense of complete desperation. Just please, please, please make the winter stop. This year I didn't feel that, and I'm really glad. I was able to appreciate its beauty for a lot of new reasons that I never have before. So I'm very excited spring is here. It is very distracting because I really want to go out, and I just want to play in it. I want to go see the bird species are changing as the migration patterns are altering. My husband and I are just so excited. We just cannot wait to be able to go and see like what we might find at the park every day. And as a result, here's how we wrap it all back around, what I was trying to tell you guys in the first place. That, ironically enough, can lead to a bit of a feeling of overwhelm. Because how on earth am I going to do everything that I want to accomplish? I am so excited because we have started to do our warrior cats adventures in Clan Generator, which has such a passionate and kind group of people behind it, especially our patrons who are really involved with its development and are just always constantly helping us out, or helping me out, I should say. Oh my goodness. So I have stories to tell with our Warrior Cats Clan Generator, for those of you guys who are interested. And I am so proud that I have been able to keep up zoo crafting every day, even though sometimes I have to release it after I go to bed, to be honest. But that's because Chips is, as I have mentioned, my siren song. He lures me out into the beautiful outdoors, and I just can't say no. Oh my goodness. And so then we get home really, really late, and I have to just like hurry and try to like get to zoo crafting. But it's been a good challenge for me because it's been one step after another towards the goal I really have and the thing I really want to do, which is to continue our zoo crafting adventures and to continue creating adventures in other series too. I'm still kind of stunned that I'm actually doing this because for so long I just kind of sat there unable to like figure out how to make this happen. And now we're already almost a week into zoo crafting. I've gotten Wolf Quest done. I've gotten the Warrior Cats stories started again, which actually takes a lot more effort than it looks because there's so much roleplay involved. And just to give you guys a little hint of why I may have been very excited this morning, but feeling a little overwhelmed and ready to come in and remind myself to go one seed at a time. I also have things written down, like working on the Eevee adoptions for the over 100 Eevee that, yes, 100 that I have somehow managed to accumulate in our Pokemon Violet series because I still haven't connected my Switch to the internet since like November. So I still have the Terra Eevee event and I don't want to give it up. I have caught over 100 Terra type Eevees and I want to make this really fun adoption page where patrons and then other people will be able to go ahead and apply for adoptions once Pokemon Home is open. And you guys will be able to adopt a Terra Eevee if you would like. And I also, oh my goodness, like I'm going to just read out the notes I have to you guys to give you an idea of why today feels a little bit more like, I needed a reminder. Deep breath in, deep breath out. To go one beautiful, slow step at a time because I was getting a little overwhelmed. When you're this excited and you want so much to make the thing happen, it's really easy to start tripping over yourself and forgetting it's okay. You may not be able to accomplish everything your heart really wants to today, but one little step at a time. Show up and nurture the thing that you care about, and you might get a lot further than you think. So that's the lesson I've been trying to focus on today. Because I'm gonna glance down at my notes now because it's almost time for Chips to get home, and I think he might be wanting to go out on yet another one of those gorgeous walks. And I still want to go ahead and start working on gosh, yeah, we've got our Pokemon. I have notes on zoo crafting that has to do with making a portal to a new world full of sea turtles. I have the baby Zertle Point is what I am going to actually be naming the place that we are currently at in zoo crafting. Why? Because it is where we found some baby zombies and where we're going to have possibly a turtle portal to another land. So I've got that written down. Maybe not something I can accomplish today, but just kind of gives you a hint of how diverse and very often distracting all of the projects are. There we go. I just love putting down this mishmash collection of random vases sometimes. It's just fun. I'm going to put a bunch of party animals in this corner. Once again, distracted. I'm getting there, guys. I actually was thinking the other day, if you kind of look back over our garden episodes, you can see me wake up. You can see me wake up. And that is really beautiful. But what else is on my little notes? Let's take a look while we just admire the pretty flowers. I also have, let's see. Yes, preparing my Sims 4 like mods because we are going to have some Sims 4 episodes coming up with all of the new expansion packs and seeing those legacy families come back to life. And that is a subject I could talk to you guys about for ages another day. How much I love them. How many years I hope we can watch our Sims stories play out. I also have that I need to prepare the Patreon postcards, which actually have these adorable Eevee Adopt Me stickers this month. I also, gosh, I need to make a 800,000 subscriber celebration video, basically showing you guys how I've completely destroyed my office to celebrate, because why not? I didn't even notice we passed 800,000, by the way. I don't really look at numbers anymore, and I honestly had no idea until until our wonderful Alari, our artist who does a lot of our main art, actually told me. And I won't lie, I was kind of like, what? What? Okay, so that's written down too. Research story. Oh, all right. I really need to go now because I really should be getting a go on all of this. Research Story is an adorable new pixel game that's kind of like if a scientist lived in Stardew Valley, is how I have been told it is. And my sister actually contacted me this morning saying that she really, really wanted to see me play it. She never does that, so I absolutely am going to do that. And basically, that's just 1 out of 5 or 6 notes that I have here, full of ideas and things that I hope to accomplish, stories and dreams that I hope to share. No wonder I was getting a little overwhelmed. You can't plant an entire forest at once. You have to go one seed at a time, right? At least metaphorically. I'm sure there's a way to efficiently have a bunch of delightful little birds spread things, but we'll leave that for another day. There you go, little one. Are you having a hard time? Oops. Okay, let's get in here really carefully and pow. Okay, we're gonna have to do something about this poor little plant. I think it gets a little too close to the fence. There you go. But yeah, you can't plant a whole forest of adventures, or thousands of them, all at one time. So I'm gonna go ahead and start working on these. It's just beautiful. Everything has been so lovely. And I am so excited. And sometimes that means I can tangle myself up in knots. I feel like a kitten playing with a ball of yarn with all of my ideas and eagerness sometimes. Who gets herself completely tangled. But one step at a time, huh? Yeah. All right. Well, I meant to tell you guys a lot more about the upcoming adventures, and we still haven't checked out. Oh, well, you know what? We'll end with this. We have underwater bubble tea decoration, alternated shelf, globe wall lamp, a leaf wall lamp. Oh my gosh, oversized dice decoration, a pucky stack, stereo radio, blue checkered vase, checkered disc vase. Oh, how lovely. Yeah, we're gonna have a good time in here. We're gonna have a good time. But all right, thank you guys so much for joining me. I rambled yet again, but that's okay. I'm going to dive into those other adventures and work on nurturing those things consistently too. You know what? This is probably a good metaphor today in the garden to go ahead and reflect on the fact that you really don't have to do everything all at once. And if you come in some days and you made a bit of a mess and it didn't quite go where you wanted it to, I actually think that's okay. Because you still showed up and you still did something. And in the end, isn't that part of what makes the story? Not about like getting it perfectly, like perfect or making complete sense, I suppose. But just showing up. Just showing up is so beautiful. And something I don't think we give ourselves enough credit for. I think it's most of the work, actually. So I showed up today. I rumbled like a very silly goose that I am. And I am now going to go ahead and jump into working on some of our other wonderful adventures. And I will see you guys next time, where we can celebrate the fact that, like, yeah, it's messy and chaotic, but at least it's progress. And I'll tell you guys about some of the things I'm hoping to get done for all of the other adventures that we're doing. Woo, pretty! Yeah, look, we did do something. We should be proud of ourselves. All right, I'm off to plant seeds and nourish the other adventures, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.